All right, Behind the Build, episode 7. Before we get too far along with the car getting ready for paint, we want to make sure that everything's ready with the drivetrain, just so that we can pull the engine out for the last time and then stick it in once the car's painted. So the things we need to do today is we need to install our transmission crossmember, we need to do the welding and the mounting for our radiator, we need to finalize the exhaust setup, and then also we need to cut apart our front bumper support so that we have room for our air filter to sit in the front bumper. So we've got a whole lot to do today, so let's go get started. All right, so this is our transmission crossmember from Ronin Speedworks, and the way it works is it just has these clamping plates that go to the transmission tunnel and hold it in place. But since the transmission in this car is sitting farther back than it will with a LS and T56 setup, this isn't gonna work where we want it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut these plates off of the side, and then we're gonna go ahead and sandwich them to the firewall like it was designed, and then put this plate up to the transmission and then crawl under and then just kind of build a new crossmember from scratch. Alright, so we cut apart that crossmember that we had been looking at earlier, and we're able to reuse some of these chunks, so we got the plates put in on the side. And I have it set up now that these are going to go right about there, so I have both of them set for both sides, so I'm just going to carefully tack them in place, and then we'll pull it out and weld this on the bench. Alright, so if you notice on the transmission crossmember, when we cut it out, it really didn't have much support in the middle. So we went ahead and put a really nice thick chunk of steel right there, so it's not going anywhere. And we test fitted it, it's sitting great. So this is pretty much done now. Transmission is sitting where we want it. So next up on the front bumper, since we don't have a lot of room for our air filter, we have to cut out the factory hood latch right here. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be welding in some plates along the side here so that we can keep the support for the front bumper, and then cut this out, and then we're going to be bringing the air intake through here, and then it'll be coming in under the bumper. So we'll start with that, cut it up, weld it all in place, and then we can move to our radiator. we have the rad in, and I guess I just really messed up when I ordered this. When I hold it in place, it looks way smaller than the gap that we have. So we're already going to be pushing the limits of cooling for this car, and I really just don't want to be putting in a smaller rad than what we can fit. So I messed that one up, but we're going to get another rad coming in. We're just going to go as big as we can because we need that. That's a good thing to do. So this is back on pause for the time being, and now the next thing is to get the exhaust wrapped up so that we can get the bottom of the manifolds welded back together. So we're going to crawl under and move the brake lines and the fuel lines so they're out of the way, and then get all of that aligned and marked, and then off to the fabricator. Alright, that went pretty good, except we ran into a couple little problems on the driver's side. So first thing is that the V-band is sitting too close to the starter, and it will be contacting it. And then the second thing is that we're not able to get to the V-band with a straight piece of tube. So what we're going to do is we're going to order some stainless steel tubing. We're going to cut the V-band off, we're going to make a custom little downpipe, and then add a new V-band down by the transmission, just to get the driver's side nice and happy. And the passenger side fits really good, except I would like it to be symmetrical on both sides, so we're going to do the same thing on the passenger side while we're at it. So we were planning on pulling the engine out right now, but obviously this is a little bit of a roadblock because I would like to keep the engine in for us to figure this out. So what we're going to do next is go grab the brake booster, bolt it up, and I just really hope that that fits.
You think it's actually going to fit? Looks pretty wide.
I mean, we measured when we did the install, but we didn't test fit with it.
You'd be pretty surprised. It's pretty close.
Okay, yeah.
Damn.
Holy.
Looks like the spark plug wires are maybe touching it a little bit.
Yeah, that is so close.
So we can just move them out of the way, but damn. Well, that's one less thing to worry about.
Oh my god. I feel very lucky.
Amazing.
Alright, well I'm super stoked that the brake booster actually fits. That's just a really good thing. Now the last thing we're doing today is we're going to be doing some more priming really quick. So we went ahead and blocked out the entire car just so it's nice and smooth at 150 grit. And now we're going to be roll priming it again just because there was a couple more low spots than we had anticipated. So it'll be one step closer for when you go to prime it in the booth. So everything's laid out, everything's wiped off, and we're just going to go ahead and put a whole bunch of primer on. So let's go do it. Alright, so it's been a few days since we primed, and it's given the product a chance to gas off and just cure up a little bit more. So we've been blocking out some of the car. I'd say we're like, I don't know, about a third done. We've done the roof, rear quarter, door, the hatch, bumper. So we still have lots to do, but we're making good progress. We're sorry that this isn't the most crazy, interesting part of the build. It's just something that takes a lot of time, and we just have to do right and get it out of the way. So we've got definitely a few more days of sanding ahead of us just to get this thing blocked out, so then we can finally get into the booth and do the final prime on it. So we're just gonna work on it every day, get as far as we can so we can get back to doing all the interesting stuff that you guys actually wanna see. But besides that, thank you so much for supporting the channel, making it this far in the video, and we'll see you guys next Thursday.